YouTube, what's going on, guys? Doomwake here, and welcome back to some more Tarkir Dragonstorm content on the channel. I just got back yesterday from, well, 2 days ago from Minneapolis. It feels like yesterday because it was 3 in the morning. Maybe the last time I ever do a Sunday night flight. Didn't help that it got delayed a little bit because of weather, and there was some inclement weather in the Northeast on Sunday night, so that was kind of brutal. But we're back, and we have some decks from we had a lot of regional championships that same weekend. There was Minneapolis, Southeast Asia, Japan, and Brazil. So a lot of content to deliver to you guys. And this one is coming to us from the Brazilian RC. This is Marco Aurelio Lima, who, as you can see, I didn't put the result here, but this person got 11th in the Brazilian RC, so almost made top 8 with this deck. And this isn't a new take on the Smuggler Surprise archetype. So at its core, Smuggler Surprise is a card that wants you to put a bunch of big creatures into your deck and a bunch of ramp spells. It's pretty simple. You get to 8 mana and you can do the first 2 sprees, which is mill 4, put 2 creatures or lands among the milled cards into your hand, and then put 2 creatures from your hand onto the battlefield. So if you think about it, if you spend 8 mana and you put a 7-drop and an 8-drop into play, you're effectively plus 7 mana because you're spending 8 and you're getting 15 mana worth of cards out of it, which is pretty absurd if you think about it. So you might ask, the next question is, what are the ramp spells? So we have Llanowar Elves, classic, the classic, tried and true, 4 Bramble Familiar, which is nice because this is not only a 2-mana ramp spell, but also can be a 7-mana payoff later in the game, where you mill 7, then you get a creature, enchantment, or land from those cards onto the battlefield. So if you hit any one of your large creatures, you can just put that right into play. So it kind of counts as both a ramp spell and a payoff, which is hard to come by. Couple of Tender Wildguides, good on turn 2, good on turn 3. If you have an elf, you can offspring it, and that jumps you up to 7 mana on turn 4. 7's kind of the sweet spot for Tyrant, Carnosaur, things like that. And then for the other ramp spells, we have Bloomvine Regent 2 copies and 4 Overlord of the Hauntwoods. I really like that this deck has skewed up the beanstalk. And the reason for that is 5 of your cards that, well, I guess this one does work, but this one does not work with up the beanstalk because it doesn't, you're spending additional costs, but it doesn't change the mana value. Nature's Rhythm, if you cast it for 3 or more, the mana value will be 5 or more. So this one does work. So you have a decent number of things that trigger Beanstalk, but also that kind of feels like not what the format's about right now. You don't really have time for Beanstalk against the Prowess deck, so just casting ramp spells, sometimes in a turn you'll get to ramp and torch, and then just drawing your good cards that are putting more payoffs into the deck. And what I like about this list is the way that we've chosen to do that is with Nature's Rhythm, which is not a card that I have really seen anybody play, but it kind of makes a lot of sense, where this for 3 or 4 mana, it can be a ramp spell where you can just go get an elf or a Bramble Familiar, and that's totally fine sometimes. But once you start getting to X equals 3 or 4, then you have some more versatility. On 3, you can go get Moira Trash Tactician, which sort of acts as a ramp spell because it adds a mana for each raccoon. And then once you start spending 4 or 8 mana in a turn, then you either gain 3 life or exile the top 2 cards, play those. So it gives you a little bit more versatility and utility out of that. And then quite possibly the red herring in this deck list, which maybe looks a little strange at first, but makes a ton of sense when you think about it, is Phyrexian Censor. So this is each player can't cast more than 1 non-Phyrexian spell each turn, and all non-Phyrexians enter tapped. So your plan against Prowess is ramp spell, and then once you get the 5 mana, cast Nature's Rhythm to go get the Phyrexian Censor, put it onto the battlefield, and if they don't have a bounce spell, most Prowess lists, like outside of Floodmaw, do not have an out for this card. It's really difficult for them to play through it. So I like that a lot, just having a nice ace in the hole against Prowess. You have Hulking Raptor on 4, which is similar to Moira, gives you a little bit of ways to jump the curve. 5/3 Ward 2, nothing to scoff at as well. And then Roxanne at 5 is a one of, just again, another tutor target off of the rhythm. And then once you start getting to 6, 7, and 8, that's where you get your Boom Booms, 2 Carnosaur, Discover 5, 7/6 Trample, 2 Vaultborn, really good against kill spells, and then kind of your sort of boss monster at the very, very tippity top of the curve, 2 Ireni. When this card comes into play, the game usually ends. You kill all their stuff, you have a 10-10 that's hard to kill. You can usually figure it out from there. And then the mana base is mostly just red-green lands. We have, 4, 8, 14 red-green duels, 4 basic forests to help facilitate the bloom vines, 4 Cavern of Souls, which sounds a little strange, but our creature types are... We don't have a ton of non-creatures that we're trying to cast, so even if we use Cavern just to force through one thing, that's kind of good enough, right? Like if you force through a Ureni or a Vaultborn Tyrant against your blue-eye control opponent, everything else kind of just doesn't matter. So I like that aspect. And then Fountain Port pairs nicely with the Overlord of the Hauntwoods. So really clean looking deck list. And moving on to the sideboard, we got some Abrades for Prowess, Keen-Eyed for Omniscience, Brotherhoods also for Prowess and Cutter decks. Frillback is a nice tutor target off Rhythm, good against Prowess. Paw Patch for Demons, Baloth for Pixie, and then some additional one-ofs here for Nature's Rhythm, a Terror of the Peaks, a Silverback Elder, which is destroy artifacts or enchantments, a Calamity, which I think is here for when you need a combo, right? So like against faster matchups, you can board in the Terror and the Calamity to one-shot them, and then Tyrranax Rex, which is very good against the control decks. Can't be countered, hard to kill, haste, all that good stuff. So yeah, really, when I first looked at this deck list, there was a lot of card choices I didn't quite understand. And now that I have 6 or 7 games under my belt, it makes a lot more sense. And once you kind of play the games, you understand why the person who played this deck chose to put the cards into their deck. And I gotta tell you, I was relatively impressed, and I think you guys might be when you watch the games. So without further ado, let's not make you wait any longer. I'll see you back here in just a little bit for round number 1. Because it took me a while to find them, and once I found them, I was like, I'm not gonna go digging for these again. I'm gonna make sure I save this link. Yeah, melee is tough. A basic island over there, huh? What is Dario working with? We got 4 mana. Kind of want to do this. I don't even know if this card's that good against blue-white. Probably not. Hey, what's up, Garfield, dude? Welcome to the stream. Qualified with Ban Toxic. That must have been a long time ago. Actually, yeah, these, well, I guess not that long, right? These RCQs were like January, February. So it wasn't too long ago. Oh, I have no idea. But like, it's been impossible to find stuff on Melee. It does work, because that's how I ended up finding the Brazilian, Southeast Asian, Japan RCs. Like, it does work. You just have to do a lot of, like, next page. Because at least when I was searching, what ended up happening was when I would search for standard deck lists, it would basically pull up, like, it wouldn't just show the event. It would show each individual deck list from the event. So you have to go through, like, 7 or 8 pages of that event before you find the next event. And that's what I hate about it. Oh, March is not that bad, yeah. No, we'll do a Gamba next match. I gotta let you see the deck in action before we Gamba on it, you know? Gotta give you a little taste. We'll do Gamba after this match, though, I promise. Tree steps ahead. Oh, we're brambling. I'm brambling over here. Keeping this is kind of awkward if they kill the first familiar, but I mean, it is a 7-mana spell. I guess we hold up Smuggler's Surprise. What is this? 1, 2, 3. I always forget. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it's 8 mana, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which we only have 7. Yeah, we'll just play this then. Recommend playing after the tournament. I mean, you're probably not going to like what I have to say, and you're not going to want to hear this, but you probably should just play Prowess. And that's probably what I'm going to be doing. I'm probably going to be playing Prowess. Even though I didn't have a great event with it, there was still 17 copies in the top 32 of the event. It was very clearly like the best deck in the room, not close. You know, even with the win rate was like barely over 50%. It's still like, no, there were 2 in top 8. I'm not sure how the meta is going to adjust. That is a very good question. I don't really know how to answer that question. I mean, I think people will maybe be a little bit more prepared for Omniscience because there was 3 of them in the top 8, and I believe it also won. It won Brazil, I think. It either won Brazil or Southeast Asia. It won one of those 2. Oh, they had Rides in. I thought it was Get Lost. Yeah, I saw that too, Spin. I saw that. That was pretty funny. Yeah, one Brazil. Okay. So more people will be prepared for Omniscience. And I would say that more people will be prepared for Prowess, but people should have been prepared for Prowess this weekend anyways. So I don't know how much more prepared they can really be. They got 1 in hand. Let's go on a little fetch quest. Fetch quest. I mean, I guess I'll take this. It's not that good. Sure. Hulking Raptor coming in. Yeah, you better read that one. You better watch out for that one, Dario. Keep that on top. Which deck do you recommend for a starting player right now? Well, in order to answer that question, I would like to have a follow-up question for you. Which format do you like playing? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. +1 elf. Elf secured. I will say about the Plumber tweeting out that he said his deck was bad. He is a very, like, he's local to me. I've known him for a while. He is a very hyperbolic person. So I would not necessarily, like, I wouldn't necessarily take anything he says at face value, is mostly what I'm getting at. He's going to say that regardless. That's just the person that he is. The more anime art on the battlefield, the better. I'm kind of getting cooked this game. They're still at 20. I did see there was a pretty big resurgence of Dimir this weekend. I mean, look, like I kind of sort of understand it, but at the same time I also don't, where I just don't really know how Dimir ever wins a game when their opponent resolves Cutter. I understand you have counter spells, you have some discard spells for it. Like, you have some ways to, like, prevent them from putting it into play in the first place, but once that shit resolves, like, I don't know what their plan is. I don't think they really have a good plan. You know what I mean? I was worried about a Wrath, but maybe I should have played the Moira last turn. I'm just trying not to overexpose into a Wrath. And now I can take this line and still hold up Smuggler Surprise. But I will say about Dimir midrange, the games where they don't have Cutter, like, the Dimir deck usually wins those games very easily. It's just specifically Cutter is a very hard card for blue-black to answer. But, I mean, if you just have your prowess opponents never draw Cutter, then you're fine. One of the people in our Discord, Dan, top-aided the 10K on Sunday with blue-black midrange. He said he liked it a lot. Elspeth. Making some tokens. Okay. Join the fight. I don't want to join the fight. Join the fight. Oh, yeah, dude. I think there was somebody... I have to go back and look at the standings. I think there might have been somebody who was X11 that didn't make top 8. Which is just completely ridiculous. All right, what am I doing with this Nature's Rhythm? Right. Oh, actually... Yeah, I forgot we had that card. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll do that. I don't know about that. I'm not so sure about that. How much do I have? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 1. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, just dead. I mean, I guess I'll kill the Elspeth because it's free, but they're also just dead on board. I forgot about that. Agent, thank you for the Prime, or the tier 1 rather, excuse me. Thank you for the resub, Agent. All right. I want to have a conversation with you guys. Now, I think a lot of people may not agree with this take. But hear me out. Okay? Hear me out. So, I understand, you know, if you look at the results from the weekend, prowess, like, just everywhere, dominated in terms of metagame share. 33% of the American RC, I think it was 33% of Japan as well. Okay. I am not saying that something should not happen. I think that something from the prowess deck should go. But I would like to entertain the argument of the removal of Monstrous Rage. And I think that, so if you talk about the prowess deck, right, I think Cutter does a lot of cool things to the format in terms of, like, introducing more threats, attacking from a different angle, like giving you access to cards that are good against sweepers and things like that. But I think a lot of the complaints that people have about the prowess deck come from, oh, I died on turn 4. Oh, I had a blocker, but it didn't matter. And in every single one of those games, Monstrous Rage is the culprit. You know, those are the games that end on turn 4 or turn 3 sometimes for even, you know. So I don't know. I kind of want to explore the possibility of banning Rage instead of Cutter and seeing what happens. Now, I understand people will still play Prowess without Rage. I would like to see what happens. And that's my hot take. I know everybody's like on the Cutter bandwagon, but I actually think Rage is more of the problem. No, I didn't did 2. I dropped at 3 and 4. Yeah, ban the older uncommon over the hot new rare. Like I think Cutter has a much longer shelf life in standard than Rage anyways. So, you know, don't want that to just, you know, you don't want that to have it to be a casualty for no reason. And I only played 3 mirrors in 7 rounds, so almost half, but standard do be flourishing. Technically, I guess standard is flourishing, yeah. I played the Prowess deck. It's just the best deck by so much. I don't even think anything is close to it. I don't want to do this. I mean, I would be very interested in seeing how the Prowess deck plays out without Rage. And you know what? Look, it is entirely possible that if you ban Rage, maybe Cutter is still a problem down the road. Like, I could certainly see that being the case. But I don't know. I just... Basically, what Monstrous Rage does to the format is it just decreases the average game length by basically a full turn. And when you do something like that, you're forcing other people to, like... to sort of... You know, in order for them to keep up with the pace of the format, they need to, like, you know, lower their curve as much as possible. And then it's basically this, like, you know, snowball effect where everybody has to play cheaper cards and just, you know, that's what ends up happening, you know. Maybe I'm not, like, articulating it well enough, but that's kind of where my head's at. It's like Rage sort of sets the precedent, or like the terms and conditions of what you're allowed to do. Well, no, and that's the weird thing, right? The prowess win rate over the weekend was what, 50%, if even that. So, like, I understand the win rate was not very good, but also, like, I don't think any deck cracked more than 54. Like, everybody, like, every deck sucked this weekend. The only deck that had, I think, 54 or higher was Dimir Midrange and Abzan Pixie. I think were the only two. So, I mean, that's more of a testament to standard being a die roll format, because if every deck is winning half of its games, you know, like, you can read a little bit into that at least, right? And that is the sentiment that a lot of people have right now, is that the only thing that matters is the die roll. WotC will blame the players for not sideboarding the right cards for Monstrous Rage. I mean, the tools are there. People play Authority of the Consoles, Temporary Lockdown, Elspeth Smite. Like, those cards are in waves in people's sideboard, and they still don't matter. Even the people that have, like, you know, 10 cards in their sideboard for mono red, and they think they have a good matchup, like, they just die on turn 3. And it doesn't matter how good your matchup is if that happens. Like, they just draw the double strike rage hand, and you've died. You know? no amount of sideboard cards are going to save you when they have those draws. I don't know. Sometimes Goldfish puts the RCs on their website. I don't know if they put all of the ones from this weekend, though. They may have. Bezaw. Is this still the first match with this deck? I've kind of lost track. I think it is. I'm just like casting spells and I'm like half paying attention to what's going on here. Can I do what I want to do? The answer is no. I should have put that in my hand. At least when they click on it, like, you know, give me the option, right? Because if I click on it and see that I can't cast the spell half, then I'll just put it in my hand. But it was too late because I already clicked on it. I should have probably known that that wouldn't work. I mean, this card's not bad. I guess I'll keep it. It does something. What are my thoughts on the Minecraft movie? I haven't seen it yet. Is it the best thing since sliced bread? Oh, hold on. I have a question. Okay. Do we have anybody in the chat that are Minneapolis locals? Yes, yes. Okay. What is, in your opinion, what is the best place? Where is the best place in Minneapolis to get a burger? First response, the burger place probably. That's a good answer. Not exactly what I was looking for, but that's a good answer. No, just like it doesn't have to be Juicy Lucy, just burger place in general, you know? Is that the name of the restaurant? Is it called Juicy Lucy? Okay. Well, I will tell you that, and maybe the Minneapolis locals know this, are familiar with this name. I'll tell you that one of the people that I traveled with was told by several, or I don't know if several, but at least one local, that we had like the best burger they've ever had. We had to go to this place, and it was called the Parlor Bar. And we went there. Now, I will say, I don't know if anybody's been to the Parlor Bar and had their burger. I will say the burger was not bad. It was good. It was a good burger, okay? But the way that he described it to me, that like was that it was going to be this life-changing burger, like best thing since sliced bread, best I've ever had. And I didn't get that. I didn't get that when I bit into the burger, you know? It was fine. I'm not going to tell you it was bad, but just not what I was expecting when when we were having these conversations. So, I don't know. It was okay. All right, let's go to game 3. I think. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'll play this. All right, how about this? Minneapolis locals, have you ever been to Bar La Grassa? Because we went to that place on Saturday night. I'm waiting for the Minneapolis folks to chime in. Okay. All right, we have at least one. Yeah, that like Bar La Grassa, that might be the best Italian food that I've ever had. It was so fucking good. Ah, okay. Now this was the same person who said Parlor was dope. Okay. I see. I thought it was out of this world. No, we didn't really get a lot of we didn't really have a lot of time to go out past like whenever we were at the tournament slash, you know, dinner after the tournament. We didn't have a lot of time. I'm gonna concede if you counter it, I promise you. Okay. Well, that means they probably didn't have a counter spell. They're probably gonna find one though. Told you. Googling if you're ready can't be countered. And there was this card that apparently, so the card has the ability to be able to attack directly, and I think because that was directly translated from the Japanese version, but in the English version, it doesn't have that line of text, but on the online client, it still is allowed to attack directly, even though it doesn't say it anywhere on the card. It's like one of those things that if you know, you know. And like people were abusing the, like, it's not even the funny thing is it's a shit card. It's not even good, but yeah, counterspell this bozo. How many counterspells are in your hand, buddy? Huh? How many counterspells you get over there? Yeah, it's possible, P Mega. I was kind of off that game though. I saw you had a deep run in the RC. Is 7 rounds deep? It's half the tournament. That's not even half the tournament, actually. It's not that deep. Or were you thinking of my twin? One of the Oculus players, Gabriel, who, by the way, Gabriel's great. He top aided the other RC, or like the last RC before this. I don't know if you guys, how many of you know this, but he missed round 1 because his flight got delayed. And his record was lose round 1, win 12 in a row, and then double draw into top 8. Can you imagine that? Like the most generational run of all time. It was absurd. I was so happy for him. It's so awesome. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. I'm gonna go to combat. What's in my deck? What do you want to get? All right, how about this? How about we do X equals 5 and then figure it out when we're in there, because it's gonna get countered anyways. Basically, cast my spell, and then if for some reason it... Oh, okay. Shit. I guess I'll get this then. I don't know. Upstairs, baby. Upstairs. The 0-3 player going 12-3. Yeah. That was they were playing Prowess, right? I think they were playing Prowess. Yeah, they started off 0-3 and then went to 12-3. They queued for the PT. That's crazy. Imagine just like being 0-3 and being so close to dropping, and then you just rattle off 12 in a row. This is why you never drop, you know? You just never know what's gonna happen. It just happened? I don't think we get this far. Didn't think we'd get this far. All right, your turn. I pass. I cast Ride's End. Day 1 is 9 rounds. Day 2 is 6. So 15 total. I don't know what the fuck their hand is. Is this an avatar? It's a spirit, which is basically the same thing as an avatar, right? If you squint. It's kind of the same thing. All right, man. I'm in. Okay. Have I even seen the movies? Apparently not. What can I Nature's Rhythm for? What do I have here? Frillback, Bloomvine, Carnosaur, Rex. I mean, I'm just gonna cast Urani, aren't I? Yeah, fuck that. Urani. 2, 3, 4, 5. Submit. Alright. Kill your homies, draw a card, gain 3 life. Map. Can we get a library count? Okay, your turn. I guess I'm a little bit worried about decking. Or at least I probably should be. You want to bounce that Urani? Huh? So I guess that they have a counter spell? Okay. Well, in that case, how about I don't cast the Urani? How about we just don't do that? How about this? Can I get a few more zones? So we have Adventure, Graveyard. What else could we do? We need some other zones, like a Ren's Resolve, maybe. Throw a little bit of Exile into the mix. Yeah, a little plot, maybe. A little plot action. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of just clicking buttons at random right now. I went -1 zone. No. I need the zone back. Keep. All right, you may proceed. I pass. Alrighty. That one's going to be tough to beat. I guess maybe I could have just cast Surprise this turn. I don't know. This. How many lands do I even have? 11? Go. Are they gonna bounce the Urani again? I mean, I promise you I'll cast it if you do that. Yeah, maybe holding Surprise was better. I mean, I kind of wanted to kill the Beza so they couldn't trade for the Overlord. But if they have Wrath, then this is a little bit worse, because then I can't just jam the Surprise. Oh, but I can Surprise for Indestructible if they go for Wrath. Yeah, I guess I could do that. Yeah. I guess that's fine too. I mean, they could just go Wrath, counterspell my Surprise, and they also know about this. So the fact that this is face up, but maybe it doesn't matter. They have to play into it. All right, clicking some buttons. Oh, I heard. I heard about Pioneer and Arena. Don't you worry. I don't know if that's going to get me to play more Pioneer, but I heard about it. I don't have any lands left to search off this. I forgot they had Demolition Field. I shouldn't have done that. I have 2 mana left over. I mean, I guess I'll just do this for everything. This leaves 2 mana. Oh, no, I have 3 mana up. Yeah, I can pay for Normalize. Cannot pay for that, though. So this is 14. Yeah. All right, they go to 2. What do they have? They have Elspeth Smite? All right, sure. Yeah. Yeah. 4? I'll just play the elf, whatever. Go. It's now being called Pioneer. The funniest thing to me about that is they're calling it Pioneer on Arena, even though it's still not Pioneer. Like, I understand they're adding the quote-unquote good cards, like the ones that people actually play, or that show up in Pioneer challenges, but it still is not the full card pool. 1 mana creatures and 1 mana non-creatures. That's kind of where I'm at, you know. So you're double spelling every turn, but while you're double spelling, you're triggering both Cutter and Eshki, you know. I forgot about Talent. Yeah, Talent's cracked in this deck. Yeah, see, this is more so what I was thinking about. I like that deck. Did she like that deck when she played it? She didn't like it. It looks good from what, like, you know, playing not a single game with it. It looks good on paper. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to just not play the Overlord this turn. Wait till next turn to hardcast. Right. Yeah, that's the problem. Is no matter how you build these decks, they're always just going to be worse versions of blue red, and that sucks. You know, that I hate that. But yeah, as much as I don't want to believe you, it is the truth. Like these are just worse versions of blue red for sure. I mean, I guess I'll respond. Aha! You've activated my trap card. Skoo's Ketcherbos does go pretty hard. Dragon. Roxanne can't really kill anything here. I guess we just take the Overlord. Yeah. Roxanne's just not doing that much on this battlefield. Rocks! Oh, hold on. Rocks! Your eyes? What do you mean? Rocks. Mixing them is kind of weird. 2. Okay, they're done. Look, it takes a while to resolve the already, okay? Oh, because that white screened everybody. Okay, I see. All right, what are they doing? They're like Abzan. I mean, they probably have roots, right? Abzan, roots, Ketramos. I don't really have a good way to answer Ketramos, besides killing them, of course. Like, a Braid's not very good. Bro and this, like, random big stuff. I don't know. I'm just looking at my sideboard options, and I'm not seeing a lot here. Like, I mean, this stuff is probably bad. Let's do, like, go a little bit bigger, maybe. Try that. I've liked it. Not as much of a meme as I thought it was going to be. Rocks. Got a kill spell over there. Okay, elf down. -1 elf. Nature's Rhythm is nice. The fact that it's like relatively flexible in terms of, you know, it can be a ramp spell early on for 3 or 4 mana, whether you're getting an elf or one of your 2-drops. But later on, it's another payoff. It's definitely better than I thought it was going to be. Pretty flexible. And I think against Prowess specifically, the ability to get the, what's that card? The Phyrexian Censor, where you just go ramp spell, turn 3, rhythm for the Censor, and then try to lock them out. I bake a fish. I was going to say give me a land, but then I, you know, should have specified, of course. I didn't say it, though. I didn't say it. I'm just going to take this, because I want to keep the token to sack the torch. How many times have I harmonized it? A couple. I think 2 or 3. It's came up a couple of times for sure. They got 2 in hand. I mean, the safe line is definitely just do this. I'll take the coward's line. So do this. Hold up torch. Yeah, like you have enough stuff to, like enough big stuff to be able to flash it back. And usually what happens is if you get like a, you know, a Hulking Raptor or a like a Roxanne off of it the first time, then when you go to flash it back, you get a pretty good discount. Because you just get -4 off of it. Yo, Road Watcher for Ketramos. That's hot. Road Watcher for Ketramos is something I had not thought about, but that does sound kind of sick. Much mana? I have 7. I guess I keep this. It's not ideal if they kill the if they kill one of my elves, but because then I can't cast this. Yeah, or we just don't draw land. You already have 5 in exile. Hmm, 6. Forgot they could do that. Dude, their deck looks pretty sweet. And like they have this cool synergy with Road, like they have the Road Watcher to mill over the Maverick, but then also mill over Maverick and get back Ketramos. They're definitely cooking with something. Definitely cooking. Not an untapped land, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so Terror. And then we go Elf. Yeah, maybe that play was greedy, but I wanted to save the Smuggler surprise to just do the full amount. But that might have been a greedy play. I'm just going to hold all back just in case. Yeah, what I wanted to hold the surprise to like do the mill and the creature half of it, but maybe that was just bad. I can just take this. Right? Surely I could just take 5 and not die this turn, you know? That should be fine. Could have like double Rhino, I guess. Well, double Rhino's only 4. Rot, Curse, Rakshasa. Should have put a counter on this guy. All right, can I kill them? It's got to be close, right? I can kill them if I hit the Calamity. Well, we didn't hit the Calamity. Take these two. Put in these two. Jesus Christ. Come back! Where'd you go? Get back here! Get back here. You can't leave yet. I'll draw payoff. Simply just draw a payoff. Oculus gamer spotted. Not sure how good this matchup is going to be. I didn't say that. I never said the words I'm going to lose. I just said you know what's going to happen now. That's all that happened. This is exactly what I was saying about the Oculus deck earlier. Is that sometimes they just, okay, well, they discarded Oculus anyways, but sometimes they just have these draws that are just, you know, Mako, FOMO, Scholar, and your Graveyard Hate just doesn't do anything a lot of the time. I mean, that's the experience that I've had against them. It doesn't always do nothing, but it frequently does nothing. Yo, chill. Rooster, you gotta chill out over there, buddy. This is not going well. We're getting worked. Good thing I drew a 3-mana 2/4. It's a really good thing I drew a 3-mana 2/4. Okay. Well, in that case, guess I'll board in those. And that's it. This thing's kind of slow, isn't it? I guess this is good. Can't imagine this one's very good. Yeah, the Frillback is good. Cut like this and maybe one of these because they have Spell Pierce. All right, play first. I mean, I guess. Look, I'll try it. I'm not happy about it, but I'll try it. Just please don't play FOMO. Ooh, I like that. That helps. I assume they probably have a counter spell. Yeah. They got the eye. It's the eye of the tiger. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, not the best answer to an Oculus, but we can kill it. Yep. Yep. Guess we could also go double torch. All right. Well, we have to decide now. I think I'm gonna take the double torch line. I think I like that. Feels weird to do this, but well, I'm gonna keep that, even though it's not a land, just because I can still again just cast the Carnosaur now. Yeah, I think this is the best line. I mean, the Overlord's 2 turns away anyways. It's probably, you know, like 2 turns from now, the Overlord may not even matter. And we have other stuff to do, so that's pretty good. That is not a bad hip. Easy. Easy. Dursaw. 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 Uh-oh. Okay, that makes things a little bit harder. Yep. I don't know if this is right. Rhythm for you already now by tapping the Carnosaur, right? Oh, you are correct. I didn't even think about that. No, you're right. That was a good line. Right, because I had 7 mana, so if I rhythm for 0, I have 5 mana left, and then I have tap this -7. Yeah, I did have enough mana. I didn't think about that line. That's a crazy line. You did 6 forests? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I guess it wouldn't work because of Fountain Port Paths. Okay, sure. No, you're right. You're right. It would have been a cool line if it worked, though. If we had the mana. But we can do that now, right? Now that we have 1, 2, 6 green. We can even do it for 1, can't we? So green, green here. X is 1. And then I have 3, 4, 5 left over. 5 plus 7 is 12. Right? Yeah, we have enough. So might as well do it for 1. It's kind of free. I mean, we're dead to a counter spell, but not much I can do about that, right? They don't have a counter spell. Come on. They wouldn't counter my spell, would they? Bruh. I died. How did I die? How did I die? I died because they had a counterspell. That's why I died. Rude. I did not see the old border in the Spirit Dragon now. Alright, that matchup seemed kind of tough. That's like a free Metafy lesson right there. No possible way this hand could ever go bad. Oh, fuck, we're dead. Guys, I think I found the bad matchup. I think I have located the bad matchup. Yeah. Oh, no land maybe? Please don't play land. Come on, Damien. Just do me a big solid, Damien. I'll send the PayPal. All right. PayPal sent. The PayPal has been sent. I guess this is just the same amount of mana, right? Slightly worse if they go land lockdown because they kill these two, but... Well, no, because they would just lock down this anyways. It's the same if they have lockdown. I think it's not that uncommon. I mean, at least if you're like X4, like you're not going to top 32 at X4, but you'll at least like, you know, have a little bit of a run, you know. But the thing about going 9-0 on day one is your breakers are just unbelievable, right? All right, so I drew the only card in my deck that does anything in this matchup, which is Rhythm for Censor. So that has to be my plan, right? I mean, I have to do this so I don't die. Get the Censor. Oh, shit. I needed to cast this first. I should probably read my own cards. Whoops. I probably should have played the Wildguide first. That would have been a good idea. How many of my opponents had GRVs? I didn't ask. Do you think they knew? They had to have known, right? Okay, well, here's the issue. I still might be dead. Also, this whole Carnosaur Phyrexian Censor stuff, that's nice. That's a combo. I mean, I have to do this, don't I? And do this now. If they just have a bounce spell for Phyrexian Censor, I can't recast it. Okay, sure. Well, the problem with casting Rhythm there is if they have a counterspell, they can actually cast the counterspell. So I want to kill the Omniscience, I think. And like now I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I just do this. Just offspring this. Hit them for 5. They go to 10. Wish there was like a big haster in this deck that I could go get. But none of these big things have haste to get off of Rhythm. Like maybe we should be playing a Craterhoof main just to make sure we end the game. Yeah, like a hoof. A hoof would be nice, I think. I mean, I'm just doing this. Because I'm pretty sure we can kill through one removal spell. I didn't do the math, but I'm pretty sure we can. So they kill a 3, right? Kill a 3, Yeah, okay. I mean, dude, the Phyrexian Censor is nice. All right, so you do you exile graveyards? Top 5, get a land. No, you don't exile graveyards. You suck. I guess this. And is that it? I mean, I guess this is like a haster could be okay. Baloth, no. Yeah, the Rex has haste. I kind of want to try adding a hoof to this deck. There's been multiple spots where I've really wanted to get a hoof off of the Nature's Rhythm. And it's like, with the amount of times that we've had enough mana to Rhythm for Ureni, like most of the time I'd rather just get a hoof. And the Ureni doesn't always kill them. I think the sand's fine. Okay, and it's no longer fine. Every deck should have a hoof in it. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't believe me? Every single deck should have a hoof. Holy. Really? All right. I mean, I'm in. So name avatar, play this. I hate it, but I kind of feel compelled to just Rhythm for the Censor this turn. Because if I just play an Overlord, they go end of turn, Regent, discard Omni, kill me. So I think my play is kind of just forced here. I hate doing this, but it's not easy for their deck to answer the Censor. It doesn't die to lockdown. That is huge. There also might maybe want to be a second Censor in the board for if they answer the first one. I mean, honestly, like, this card just being able to shut out both Prowess and Omniscience, maybe we should be exploring just like a beatdown deck that has this card, you know? Like, what kind of beatdown deck can we play this in? It probably has to be green-white for Elf. But, like, I don't know, Celestia dudes, something like that. Well, it's kind of awkward in Cage because a lot of times what happens with Cage is you get to a spot where you like have a cage in play, right? And you play a creature and you want to be able to activate Cage and play the spell in the same turn that you play the creature, but you can't do that with Censor, so it's kind of awkward in Cage, is the issue. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. We could go back to you guys remember the 8 elf deck to be played? With like 4 Moltender, 4 Llanowar Elves, and 4 Moltender, 4 Elf, and the 8 Scrylands, or Surveil lands. We could maybe do that, and then that could maybe incorporate the Censors as just like 8 ways to turn 2 Censor against Prowess. That'd be kind of cool. The mana would be a little tough, but we can make it work. Play Vaultborn this turn. Dude, Rakdos Charm would be a sick card in this format. Exile Graveyard to stop Omni and kill Cutter. It's kind of just like instant speed Tranquil Frillback. It's a good card. All right, don't kill me. Don't kill me. You wouldn't do that, Damien. Come on. Okay, not an omniscience. I like that. They will simply not put an omniscience into the graveyard this turn. That you can have that. That I'm okay with. I mean, the land is still lethal. Ooh, that's kind of a good draw, I think. Because I can do both. Wait, do I have enough to do 2 lands? Sure do. 5. 2 lands is not lethal if they bounce the Vaultborn Tyrant. So basically, if I animate the Ridgeline... Oh, no, it is, because the Ridgelines get untapped. Right. Yeah. I forgot about that. So now what happens is they go, bounce this, take 10, go to 1, and then I still have Paw Patch up. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, the Ridgeline's getting untapped is nice. They're thinking on the Surveil. Okay. They kept the card on top, but didn't graveyard an Omniscience. That's interesting. I don't know what that means. Okay. I mean, if they bin Omni and have Abuelo's Counterspell, we're dead, but nothing I can do about that. See, this is my experience with the Omni deck. This is literally my experience with the Omniscience deck. I just go through half my deck and I never find it. Good deck. Good deck. Future Fusion bin Omni. Yeah, I did lose to Oculus. Well, I mean, I can cast the Phyrexian Censor. Gotta keep it, right? Trust, they're playing Prowess. Alright. My Phyrexian Censor is probably not good against Restless Fortress. Would be my guess. It's probably not the best. Yeah, Orzhov Prowess. Surely. That helps. That definitely helps. I mean, I would guess this matchup is good for us. Not the Orzhov version, because the Orzhov version has a lot more sticky threats. They're playing like Annex and Preacher, and like they can get a lot more out of playing one spell a turn than Esper can. Yeah, see. Not going to complain about that. Pixie. Momentum equals broken. Don't worry about that, okay? Just, you don't have to worry about that little guy in the graveyard there. Imagine my opponent, like, they've seen all these red-green ramp cards, and I just discard a white 3-mana 3/3. They're like, what the hell? You good? What you got over there, Rhino Lover 70? Man, I don't see any rhinos over there. I'm just saying. I'm not seeing any rhinos. Playing this deck makes me kind of wonder if, like, you know, Nature's Rhythm as a mid-range card hasn't been explored that much. Because, like, I mean, if you have enough good targets to get up the curve, that card is good. Sly a Croissant. Thank you for the 22 months. Could be Abzan, I guess, yeah. Could be Abzan. Unlikely to be Abzan. Excellent. Definitely did not have a 7-drop that I was looking to cast this turn. Don't worry about that. All right, go. That's just a lie. It's actually a lie. I played Edison once when I was preparing for an RBT in Orlando, and I played exactly 2 hours of Edison. No more than that, but I did play Edison at some point. Thank you for the 24 months. Are we trading? Kind of down the trade, honestly. Nah, fuck that. I'm taking it. You missed it? Yeah, it was a while ago. The RBT was like late 2023, I think. Okay, this is bad. Make a treasure. This is no bueno. 6, 7. So we need to hit Ureni, I think. You're ready. You're ready. Okay. Okay, he's not dead yet. He's not dead yet. Hold on. How many lands do I have? 7? Yo, check me out right now. Check this out. It's a pretty good sequence. that was a pretty good sequence. We're not out of the woods yet. Because if they have like kill spell for Overlord, then they can make me Edict the Ureni. But we definitely are in a decent spot. Yeah, you can also sack into Fountain Port. That one comes up more often in like the green-white beans decks. Ooh, this is scary. I don't like where this is going. Wait, are they just dead? I think we both forgot about the -2 from the NX. Because I certainly forgot about the -2. All right, big shit coming in. Baloth. All the big stuff. Popatch. Frillback. I don't think this is actually a good torch matchup. Because again, their creatures are mostly just preachers and 6/6s. It does kill the pixies and the Kirins, but I don't know how much we need to respect those cards. Because I also don't really... Maybe this one's bad. Like, this can be a 3. Maybe I have too much top end against all the nightmares. I'm going to try cutting torch. I don't know if that's right, but... I think I might also cut this. Because the issue with this card against them... I mean, it can be like, you know, a 3-mana find 2 lands type of thing. But even if you get to 6 mana, you're probably not going to have 2 big things in your hand to be able to put into play if they have a nightmare draw. So, like, I think you're better off just drawing your big threats. That's where I'm at. Can you believe that? Their username is Rhino Lover, and they're not playing Abzan Pixie, they're playing Orzhov Pixie. Like there's literally a Rhino that you could put into your deck, and they're just choosing not to. Like, how much do you really love Rhinos, you know? Well, funny enough, that might be good enough. That actually might do it. Yeah, I'm not gonna respond to that comment. I'm just gonna say nothing. You know what? I'm just gonna pass. I think they have a kill spell. I want to offspring this. I mean, I should have played this last turn, but I'm down to just chill. Momentum broken. All right, I think we'll be fine this game. Something tells me we'll be okay this game. Oh, it's not great. I mean, it does something, but it's not fantastic. I'm gonna pop that breaker, gain a little bit of life. I know you're thinking about it. 3, 4, 5. All right, it's time. You know what time it is. Muera. Muera. How is this thing a possum and not a raccoon? You know, like, come on. 5-1 with this deck, which is, like I said, a lot better than I expected. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't really have any expectations for this deck going in, but I guess it just works. And I don't really know why it works, but I think part of it is the flexibility of Nature's Rhythm, right? Being able to get you Phyrexian Censor against Prowess and Omniscience, which came up a couple of times. I don't know about this little guy. I definitely would play a Greater Hoof somewhere in here. Maybe over the second Trumpeting Carnosaur. I guess you could cut the second Ureni, but I mean, this card is so good. I want to play 2. But yeah, I don't know. Deck was nice. I think not playing 4 of this is a pretty like heads up deck building decision too. Because you have this, which is similar in the amount of mana that you're putting into this, but it's like this is a lot more flexible because this can be a 3 or 4 mana ramp spell early. And then there's even some spots where if you have a big guy in play, you can just cast this for 0, put it into your graveyard, and then harmonize it with the big guy to just immediately get a big thing into play. So, I don't know. It's cool. It's a cool deck for sure. I like it.